Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today's video is going to be on the breakdown and how the Berrics handled Women's Battle of the Berrics, the very first women's flat ground contest through the Berrics. So this is not supposed to be a video where I give my opinion on the games or on the tricks or anything like that. I have a separate video that I'm going to be doing for that. But with this one, it's more on just the handling and how the Berrics treated the whole series and why I think they really could have done a lot better, because their preparation, their timing, the way they presented everything, unfortunately led a lot of people who wanted to be very interested viewers to kind of just fade away. And that's one thing that's a travesty for this, because it had such good potential to be a very well done series, especially because they've had 11 different Battle of the Berrics for men to learn from, and they could have really pushed this one very well. So with that said, I'm going to go through a couple of the different things. I have a list. I wrote out a bunch of stuff on here, so there might be a couple of different weird cuts in this video because I will probably be looking down and reading my notes, and I don't want there to be super big gaps. I don't want this video to be like 20 minutes long. So if there's kind of weird little cuts here and there, please forgive me. But I will be trying to just focus on a incredibly non-biased, as far as, again, I'm not talking about, the girls as far as how they skated, the tricks, great lands, some misses and some not made tricks, anything like that. It's just on the presentation that the Berrics did for the games. So when it comes to getting into the finals, I still stand by the video that I made before, where I was talking about there's a lot of people that were hating on Women's Battle of the Berrics, and this was supposed to be a great showcase, and especially the first year to be able to show that women really can hold their ground when it comes to skating flat, especially if they practice their butt off to be able to make that happen. And I believe that certain games in the finals definitely did shine a lot greater than others. And even with that said, they shined well after the Berrics put up the videos from their actual angles on the floor. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. But one thing I do want to correct myself on, because I was not aware of this. I do have an Instagram, but I don't really use it much. And one thing I wasn't aware of around April, that they had a submission contest where they had women present their flat ground skills, and they tried to get a lot of different women early on to be in the Battle of the Berrics. However, even with that said, having a long lead time from April all the way to September, many months ahead, they still failed to schedule things appropriately for a lot of the women that wanted to be in the Battle of the Berrics. A lot of women went into the series hurt. A lot of them already had things that they were going to do prior to being in the contest. I mean, thinking about when it comes to being hurt, who were the two right off the bat that were hurt? Alexis Sablon.
I haven't really been practicing I sprained my ankle really badly.
Jen Soto.
I kind of hurt my ankle 2 weeks ago.
They were hurt right off the bat. And then you had the SEA Games that are going on, which Margie and Christiana both were a part of. So that's why I personally believe Margie kind of just lost her game to be able to be a part of the SEA Games and to allow someone else to take her place. Just like how Christiana did, she kind of gave the two that she beat a second chance to be in it.
After my first 2 rounds with Chelsea and then Monica, super stoked, made it through. But I joined the Philippines Olympic team early this year in January. Found out that I have a contest landing on the exact same day as the finals going on for Battle of the Berrics. I will be in the Philippines doing SEA Games, which is kind of like the Asian Olympics over there. So it's just coincidence that both lined up. So since the circumstance of conflicting dates, I decided to have Chelsea and Monica go against each other and ref it and see how it goes and give one of these girls another chance for the finals.
Which is a great thing for her to do, and for her to be able to just participate in the SEA Games, because I know that she'd get a lot more out of the SEA Games as far as the success from that than she would get for Battle of the Berrics. They also had a lot of women do announcements as far as not being able to be a part of it. And for that, I mean, they had half of the amount of competitors compared to a regular Battle of the Berrics series, and they still had just as many announcements. And so with that, unfortunately, that led to so many different switchings, people taking places, people needing to be replaced, competing for the spot. And even with that, it's just like, it doesn't do anything positive for the series, and it doesn't make people excited, because it's like, oh, well, let's make sure that the game actually happens, because this person already got hurt, or this person might get hurt. I mean, people even stated, because they looked on Leticia's Instagram prior to her game, that she was going to get hurt, and she did. And that's why she was the first one to make an announcement. So, and a lot of people speculated too that her announcement was she was celebrating early for the win of her game, which I thought that was pretty clever. But I mean, that's just leading up to finals. Now, when it comes to the finals itself, that really, really terrible angle that they gave us is just not going to cut it. And a lot of it was because they were taking on sponsorships for what they're doing, as far as I truly believe, and I'm making a video on this as well, kind of a separate video. I think the Berrics is starting to lose a lot of money. I think that their business that they did, as far as the deal they did with Hypebeast to sell 51% of the Berrics to Hypebeast and let them kind of take over making certain type of news breakouts, of trying to go along with being creative in the skate names for their articles, trying to be the news outlet. Well, the only thing is, Berrics can't compete with Thrasher. They couldn't compete with Transworld. They had the skateboard mag, which they turned into the Berrics mag, which doesn't even exist anymore. You know, that people turned on that instantly, because it's like, you don't need to do that. You know, the Berrics had a huge monopoly on, you know, skateboarding, as far as this is where people wanted to go. People wanted to watch the Berrics. People wanted to be a part of it somehow, especially with the texture style. I mean, there's so many different things that the Berrics are no longer doing, and it's costing them a lot of money. And I think that within the next couple of years, the Berrics are going to, I truly speculate that they're probably going to close doors, because Steve and Eric are not making that kind of money they used to. And a lot of people are just over it. I mean, even in Shane O'Neill's 9 Club, he even says he doesn't really go there anymore. So, but I mean, when it comes to associating with Red Bull, they did a partnership with them, and they were sponsored by them for the event. And you get that really terrible top angle, and then it says, click the link in the description for more on the full coverage of the women's Battle of the Berrics. And then from there, it had that same angle. And then it had, click on this if you want to watch, the lead up for Monica. Then this one, the lead up for Alexis. The lead up for Samaria. Then click on this one for the lead up for Lacey. And all these different things that were not the angle that we're used to, down on the floor with the crowd. And so with that, it was terrible. It really was. And especially the logo placement on the very bottom of the screen, when it came to watching a lot of tricks, it made it very difficult to watch. Especially, I watched as much as I could, but unfortunately with so much of a gap between the games, and trying to watch some of the tricks. I mean, even when it came to, I saw, I'd say about 4 games total, because I couldn't tell when the games were freaking happening, because the angle was just trash. I did eventually watch the final, like the one last game, Alexis versus Monica, and seeing Monica go towards the logo, nollie tray in the logo, and then she kind of comes out of it. It's just, what are you doing for the viewers? What are you doing for the fans? You're making us have to wait. I mean, most people don't even go onto the Berrics website anymore. We go to YouTube and wait for them to upload it, because we don't want to compete with having websites crash. YouTube doesn't crash. And so it's a lot easier to watch it on there, and you still get your viewer count, you still get your monetizing, but nobody really goes on the Berrics anymore like that. And with this, it was done very poorly. And when it comes to I mean, they even had to get Vanessa Torres to knock off her loudness.
Get pumped! Hey! Woo! Best varial flip I've seen. Oh!
She was just like the game when it came to Mike Mo and PJ, Battle of the Berrics 5. It was obnoxious and it was not necessary.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, original. Sick shit. Mike Tricks. PJ. Mike Mo. Mike Mo. Come on. Hey, let's get everybody good. Hey.
The rest of the games, the rest were very quiet. The crowd was very quiet until they either missed a trick or landed a trick. And that was it. So, I mean, the whole thing changed, and it just was not done well. It really was done very poorly. And the energy in the room was not there like it could have been. So I mean, there's all kinds of different things to say about the games, the overall feeling, but as far as the presentation, I wanted to focus just on the presentation of how the Berrics did the Women's Battle of the Berrics. And I feel that this one definitely was a letdown. It definitely could have been done a lot better. I get that they're trying to make money, but to get the money that they get from, corporate sponsors and from, Red Bull, Volcom, and everyone associated versus having that money and not having as many viewers on the live stream because you chose the absolute shittiest angle ever, it doesn't help your cause. We're going to watch it on YouTube. And a lot of people, I mean, if you even look in the comments, they're not happy about it. They weren't happy about the presentation at all. So, but I just wanted to make that video real quick as far as just, again, how the Berrics handled the Women's Battle of Berrics, because this was supposed to be such an iconic, monumental moment for women skateboarding, for what a lot of people speculate. I think just women in skateboarding is awesome, and I think this really was, unfortunately, a letdown for women skateboarding as far as how they constructed the entire event, and I hope moving forward, this is a bar that will only be able to raise up and up and up from the Berrics standpoint to be able to give us a proper women's Battle of the Berrics alongside the men's Battle of the Berrics, and a good learning lesson on the mistakes that were made to be able to correct them for the next time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the content and want to see more, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to be notified whenever a new video goes up. And if you like the video, please give it a like and a share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.